What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Got some NFL player props we're going to look at here today on PrizePicks for Thursday Night Football. Recap of our last video, man. We have been printing money these last few videos. We did put in 3 picks for Monday night's game. We did hit all 3 of those. So you can see our last 9 picks right here. That puts us at 8-1. So like I said, man, it has just been green for us lately. Hopefully we can get that going into tonight. This game is probably going to be a little bit of an uglier game. It took me a while to find some good stuff here. But I think we're in some pretty solid spots. So we'll hop on into it. Football is an F-word podcast. Y'all tune in this week for a big surprise, if you will. So don't forget that. Link is in the description down below to that. So don't forget to check that out. Probably Saturday. 2 picks we're looking at here. So we have the Rams traveling over to San Francisco or vice versa. It don't matter. They're in the same state. But we have it's kind of going to be an ugly game in my opinion. Brock Purdy is already out. Mac Jones is the starter, which isn't terrible, but I mean Brock Purdy's out, so your starting quarterback is already out. The 49ers wide receiver room is in trouble. They are very depleted right now. 49ers throw the ball 63% of the time. You can see that right here. Their rush rate is only 37% of the time. So they are, that 63% pass tendency is actually tied for the 6th highest in the league. So they are looking to throw the ball, and their receiver room has, completely been disabled. They have no Kittle, no Juwan Jennings, no Pearsall. So you have CMC, whose lines are already inflated this big. And then you have Jake Tonjes or Demarcus Robinson. We have to hammer those 2 guys tonight. We have to focus on these guys. So my first pick that I really like is going to be in the receptions category. It's going to be Jake Tonjes right here, over 3 receptions. Books have him, DK has him at 2.5 receptions for like minus 160 or something. So they've at least got him getting 3. I think he gets like 5-6 catches tonight. At least the target share is absolutely going to be there. But like I said, you can go to Demarcus Robinson, that's solid too. But this guy right here, Jake Tonjes, is averaging right now through the first 4 weeks, he's averaging 4 targets a game. But that is with at least one of those injured receivers that we just said. At least one of them has been on the field, and now you take all of them off. So he's averaging 4 targets a game. I think that goes up to about 7. We have dwindled down here to, there's only so many people he can throw the ball to at this point. And they're going to rely heavily on Christian McCaffrey in the run game and in the pass game. And so from that, I think births some tight end checkdowns. He's also known for running those deep corner routes from time to time. So I don't hate his receiving yards, but they did just spike up in the last few minutes. They were at 27.5. They just jumped all the way up to 30.5. So I don't like that. The reason being is because his average depth of target is 6 yards downfield. So on average, by the time the ball hits his hands, he's only 6 yards downfield. That typically doesn't turn into much more than that. So I think based on that logic and simple math, he gets 3 to 4 receptions before he gets 31 yards. So plus they should be playing from behind. The 49ers should be playing from behind and relying on the pass game even more in the second half. So I think that's a pretty safe spot. Jake Tonjes over 3 receptions. Pick number 2. The Rams are the harder ones, right? The 49ers, it's easy. It's very, in my opinion, that's a lock. And that was a lot easier to find something over there. But the Rams are a little different because they've got weapons at receiver. They're just kind of going to have their way with them. So I think the way to go here, Kyren Williams, they have his rushing line set at 67.5. If we get it to load up here. I like the over 67.5 rushing yards for Kyren Williams. Again, the Rams are going to have the lead. They're going to run the ball. They're going to dominate the time of possession. They're going to have much more time of possession than San Francisco. He's 8th in the league right now. We'll go ahead and get you on the slip. Only thing, I don't like doing these popular ones because I just feel like every time I take a damn popular pick, it just doesn't hit. Blake Corum at 30.5 rush yards, I'm probably putting that on a slip. I love that. But Kyron Williams right now will go over 67.5. So again, he's 8th in the league in yards after contact. Right here. So he's averaging over 75 rushing yards a game, 8th in yards after contact. The 49ers are giving up almost 100 yards a game to opposing running backs. All of that just kind of falls into line for me and just makes sense to take this here. I really think the volume is what gets me. I think he's going to run the ball. I don't know what his attempts line is set at, but I could see him easily getting 16, 17, 18 carries tonight. And again, just having his way. The San Francisco defense, in my opinion, is going to be on the field for so long. They're going to be so wore out. But that'll be the 2 picks right there. Jake Tonjes over 3 receptions. Lock that in. Kyron Williams over 67.5 rushing yards. See if we can keep the streak going. See if we can get up into the double digits against our 1 miss so far. So we go 10-1 if we hit these. But until then, I'll catch you on the next one. Make sure to tune into that podcast this weekend for a special surprise. Catch you on the next one. Good luck. Later.